What is happening, guys? Let's do a breakdown of UFC 288 this weekend. I've got a close eye on the main event because I guarantee you Aljamain or Cejudo, whoever wins, they're calling me out. I can bet my balls on it that they are calling me out.
You know what's the real fight? What's the real money fight? Is me.
You never know, right? But I'm always watching every card, but it's always good where, you know, there's a bit of a story, there's a bit of a connection, and that, you know, I'm sort of made, hey, this could happen. I know they're calling me out. You never know what the UFC will going to want to do. Whatever the UFC want to do, whatever works, I'm happy for it. So I'm going to be connected to that fight, so I'll be keeping an eye on that.
What a shot!
I've got a couple of featherweight fights, and I watch all featherweight fights. Anyone that could be a potential matchup. My division, I love watching all them fights. So you got Kron Gracie and Charles Jourdain, which is going to be a fun one. Obviously, Gracie, jiu-jitsu specialist, and Charles Jourdain. Man, Gracie, Kron's been out for a while. When was the last time he fought? Like, we're talking years. A couple of years, maybe more, I don't even know. But it's definitely been a while since he's fought. And this is, I believe, a step up in competition. Jourdain has got some submissions on his record, but probably more of a striker. But I think that's where it's gonna be Kron's biggest problem, trying to get into the ground. Again, I think the game is definitely evolving when it comes to that takedown defense, cage work, and using the different elements that MMA has to actual just submission wrestling. You're going to find it harder and harder. You're going to see these jiu-jitsu specialists, which they are anyway, who are trying to be more well-rounded. Even the wrestlers that are coming through, like your Bo Nick, we can see they're striking, you know, they're working their feints. And so these specialists know they have to work other things. You know, it's not like they have to be a striker, but they need to, you know, really work on their wrestling, how to control on the cage, which is going to be a little bit different, how to take down on the cage, how to set up their takedowns. Obviously be very well rounded, but don't waste time on things that they're not going to use. I'm not expecting them to just be these crazy strikers when you're a submission specialist. I expect you to be very creative on the feet to get you where you want to be. And I just don't know. Maybe that's what he's been doing for the last 2 years while he's been gone, so we could be surprised. But I don't know. And I can't touch on that till I see it. So obviously my best bet would be Charles Jourdain.
I want to thank Arkansas. I want to thank Arkansas. Y'all know I love Arkansas. Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
All right, another featherweight match. Movsar, Evloev, and Bryce Mitchell. Again, featherweights, I always got my eye on these guys, and these guys aren't too far. Like, you know, their rankings. Movsar's are coming off a win. I think it was. Bryce Mitchell coming off a loss against Iliad, which is a tough matchup. And he was saying he was crook and all that. Again, the amount of times we fight crook, we're always crook, we're always injured. So you can't go too much, you know. But you never know how deep does that go with injuries and that. You've seen him start off well, actually, Bryce Mitchell. I thought it was like, oh, wow, he's going to do this. He's going to crumble Iliad, but then it just completely did a 180 in the second round, I think it was. Sort of worries me in a sense because Evloev, a good wrestler, he can strike in that as well, but he's going to have good scrambling abilities. He'll be able to handle the scrambles, which we know Bryce Mitchell's good at. But will he submit Evloev straight away? I don't see it.
Gentleman twister. No way. No way. Oh my God, he's got that. That's tight.
I'm pretty sure Evloev is favourite, and I believe he should be. I think he's undefeated. 16-0. There you go. 16-0. Bryce Mitchell 15-2. 16-0. So obviously that's very impressive, especially being in the UFC. He's fought some decent guys and he's still getting the win. So it's going to be hard to bet against Evloev. He seems to be a pretty durable guy, wrestler, can strike. You know what I mean? So is it a safe bet? I wouldn't say it's a safe bet because Bryce Mitchell can pull off the submission. You can see him, like, you know, remember him against Edson Barboza, like his control and his pressure, his fitness was incredible then. If that guy turns up, he could be a real problem for Evloev. So I will lean towards Evloev on that one. Again, interesting fight, featherweight fight.
Success sticking that jab out there and then...
She's a little powerhouse. I can see her getting in the inside. She's got them big punches as well on the inside. And then the wrestling, that pressure. She's going to be in Jan's face the whole time. Does Jan finish her coming in? I'm not sure. Andrade is the favourite. Okay. What do I pick for that one? Because she's the favourite. All right, look. So who am I going to pick in this one? Supposedly, I don't know who told me. Someone told me that they do these picks, like out of all the people that do picks. And I'm like, well, I'm right up there with my picks. Like with the picks that I've done, actually, statistically, I'm right up there with wins to losses. So I should keep that in mind and try and keep this streak going. I'm very feeling, I want to lean towards Xiaonan on this one. Again, I remember she looked great with her striking. She was on point against Mackenzie Dern. I'm going to go Xiaonan on this one. She's the underdog too, so she gets a win. That's gotta mean something. Again, because she's underdog, I definitely for my pick, I would say betting wise, I would say Xiaonan. Mackenzie Dern really struggled to get her down, or even when she wasn't able to do anything. And Mackenzie's a very, very high level, so that could be the case with Andrade. Even though Andrade is a little powerhouse and she's just going to walk forward, but Mackenzie Dern was trying to do that. She was getting pieced up. I'm leaning towards Xiaonan on this one, so there you have it.
Right hand lands for Gilbert. Oh, he's hit us again.
All right, co-main event, Belal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns. Luckily for them, come to save the day. Man, quick turnaround for Gilbert. Gilbert just for a few weeks ago, wasn't it? That was on Izzy's card. Belal Muhammad he knows how to win, man. He can win. He's he's well-rounded. He can do it all. Gilbert Burns, though, he's been surprising me. He's really mixing it up. He's tough. Yeah, he's tough. He can bring it. Then he's got the wrestling and grappling to go with it. Gilbert favourite. So this is one. Again, with my picks, who would I lean towards? I'll probably lean towards Gilbert, maybe. But I mean, they've got Belal Muhammad as an underdog, and which I don't think he should be that far of an underdog. I think it's crazy underdog, but I believe they're evenly matched. You've seen, the Belal that turned up against Shaw Brady is going to be a problem for anyone in that division. And obviously, Brady's got legit ground game, legit wrestling. He's strong. He's freakishly strong. For him to be able to nullify all that and just pick him off on the feet was pretty impressive. And that could be the case with this fight. So that's, Gilbert's got better striking than Sean. He's been working with, Khabib and Islam and all them boys over there. So he's grappling and wrestling. He's going to be used to that. He would have been under a lot of pressure with them guys, so he'll be able to deal with it. So I don't think Gilbert will be able to put him in any danger when it comes to grappling and wrestling. So, I'll have to lean towards Belal on this one. I love Gilbert. I want him to win because he's such a good dude. He is a favourite. He probably should be a favourite, or should be just even. That's how I look at it. It should be even, but the money says your best bet would be leaning towards Belal Muhammad. So that's going to be my pick for that one, Belal Muhammad.
And Triple C wants to get demoted to Double C, then we can do that, so.
Here we go, Aljamain Sterling and Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo is back. He's finally back, yeah. He's obviously been calling everyone out while he's been retired. He was retired, then he was saying he was coming back, then he called everyone out in every division you could think of. But he's here. He's actually going to come out and fight Xiaonan, the dude. Obviously, he likes to say things, and, we went back and forth here and there, but he's a good little fighter. He's a good dude. Cejudo, I think, is winning that one. Henry Cejudo obviously has a lot more tools than Aljamain, especially on the feet. I think he's going to be a lot more dangerous on the feet. He can finish Aljamain. Got good distance control. He understands distance. He can use all his tools on the feet as well. Aljamain's going to really want to, the backpack, right? He's going to want to backpack him like he always does against an Olympic wrestler. It's going to be hard, but can he get to the back? If he finds himself on Henry Cejudo's back, that's a different story. All that wrestling and everything goes out the window. It's a totally different ball game. So in them scrambles, if he's able to wrap up the back, that could be a big problem for Henry Cejudo. So I'm not counting out Aljamain. I think Aljamain can definitely hang in there with him with the scrambles and that, and maybe threaten him with a bit of back control or something like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. But again, on the feet, I'm all Henry Cejudo, I think. But I believe his best bet is if Henry shoots on him, and then him, maybe catching the neck or jumping to the back in that scramble and things like that. So who do I lean towards on that one? Even. All right. So see, there you go. Now, would you lean on? I'm leaning towards Henry Cejudo. So they're even. So best bet, I'll have to say Henry Cejudo. I think he's got more tools of winning. I think he understands the game, so I think he'll be preparing well. There are big threats that Aljamain has, but I think he's the type of fighter, or he would have the type of thing, or study, put themselves in their positions and really work things that are going to need to be worked on to get him through some of these adversities that could happen. So I'm going to have to lean towards Henry Cejudo on that one. And mark my words, I can guarantee you this, I could bet big money on this. If Henry Cejudo wins, he's calling me out. And probably the same with our Aljamain as well. Whoever wins, they're calling me out, I guarantee you. So again, I told you that earlier on. I'll be keeping an eye on that one. It's going to be interesting. All right, that's it for UFC 288. Thank you for tuning in. Love yous, but gotta leave yous. Leave a comment. Let me know your picks. Let me know if you think that all my picks were wrong or all right or whatever. You let me know. Thank yous. See yous.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.